Another great weekend of Filipino football is over, and there was some very interesting results. A place in the top 4 is still up for grabs, and the fight for first is heating up. So grab a bag of chippy, sit back, and enjoy the race.
PFL, the cat, the cat.
My boy PFL fans, and welcome to another PFL recap with me, Andy K. Today we're gonna take a look at the matches to come in the race for top 4, who will have the best chance to get into the final playoff. First, let's just talk about the matches from this weekend. The first match of the weekend, Philippines youth national team who showed off their new kit for this match versus one Taguig. On the paper it should be an easy win for Taguig, but the youth team sometimes can put in a stellar performance. And on Saturday it was one of those days. Edgar Avan Jr. once again on the score sheet, a perfect free kick unreachable for Bandekini. That's the 4th goal for Avan, and he has scored now in the 4 matches in a row. Taguig had trouble breaking down the youth team, but in the second half they got a penalty. Omid Nazare took it and they were back on level terms. Taguig almost got a winner, but it was cleared from the line. The youth stood up surprisingly well and showed off what they are capable of, and they managed to go home with a point. 1-1, and this result spices up the race for top 4. Only 3 matches left and still wide open for the last 2 playoff places. Could the next match offer another surprise? Kaya heavy favorite against Mendiola, and they did their job. Kaya put pressure on early, but it took until the 18th minute to get the opener. Pancholo Bugas was the scorer. Then they got a penalty and Komaki made no mistake. Then Pancholo Bugas scored from a very narrow angle, nicely done. 4-0 came in the 34th minute, this time it was Ray. Just minutes later Mendiola got one back, Doctora, the legend, scored. Then just at the start of the second half it was 5-1. A mistake by the goalkeeper and Ray scored his 2nd goal for the day. Mendiola managed to get another goal on a counter, Alan Kegundo this time. Jovin Beric had just come off the bench when he scored and made it 6-2 to Kaya, and that's how the match ended. Sunday offered us 3 matches, starting with Loyola versus Stallion. A win for Stallion would put them in a great spot, since Taguig just managed to get 1 point from the Saturday. And Stallion got a great start. McDaniel with a shot from range in the 9th minute and 1-0 to Stallion. But Loyola equalized in 25th minute through Kokinarita. And then we saw a superb save by Jesse Sembalante in Loyola from a corner. And just before halftime, Stallion took the lead once again. McDaniel with a free kick there found the head of Ricardo Sendra, and 2-1. But Loyola fought back, and a lovely pass from Francis Takardon found Rico Andes, who scored his 8th goal of the season, and it was 2-2, which was the end result. So both Taguig and Stallion failed to take the advantage. This opened up for both Cebu and Davao. Could they take the opportunity? Then we had Cebu versus Maharlika. Could Maharlika follow up on their surprise win from last weekend? The answer was no. Cebu had seen what had happened in the previous matches and took their chance. 1-0 came in the 25th minute, Abusi. And in the second half, Abusi scored his 2nd of the match, 8th of this season. And then 3-0 came after a disastrous mistake by Maharlika's goalkeeper Balabu, Leo Makwilini with the goal. And that was the end result, which put Cebu in a good position for the remaining matches. Manila Digger had no easy task taking on a Davao. Davao still with a chance for a playoff spot gave Digger some problem. But it was Digger who got away with all 3 points. Dylan de Bruckner with a powerful strike in the 86th minute gave the Diggers the win. And in the table we can see that Kaya and Digger are still neck in neck for first. Taguig, Stallion, Cebu fighting for the 2 remaining playoff spots, with Davao still not out of the race, but they need to win their remaining matches and have some help from others to claim it. And now, what's coming up for the teams here in the final race? Let's start up with Taguig. They have 3 matches left, and now the coming weekend they will face Kaya Iloilo. Then they have Maharlika and Mendiola. The Kaya match will of course be a very tough one. Maharlika, as we know, have showed that they can mess things up for the top teams. Mendiola though, that should be an easy win for Taguig. And my prediction though is Taguig will probably grab 6 points in these 3 matches. which will put them on 33 points and most likely a place in the final playoff. Then we have Stallion, and they have a very tough schedule here. They first face Manila Digger this coming weekend. Then they will face Cebu 2 times in a week, and I finish off with Kaya. They can easily miss out on any more points here. It is the match against Cebu that will probably be a decider who will be in the top 4. My guess is actually Stallion will maybe get 1 point here, which will put them on 25 points, which will not be enough for a top 4 finish. And then let's just go to Cebu's remaining. They first now face off with Loyola this weekend, and then as we saw they will face Stallion 2 times in a week and finish off with Davao. Another quite tough schedule here for Cebu. I think they will grab 4 points in the Stallion matches and maybe another 3-pointer against Loyola. That will give them 7 more points, so then they will have 31 points, which I think will make them end up in 4. Davao though have probably the best schedule left. The only downside is they only have 3 matches left and they are a little bit behind the others. They will first face off with the youth national team now on this coming weekend, and then Mendiola, and finish off in Cebu. And my guess is they will get all 9 points here, and that will put them on 29 points, which sadly is not enough. And for the top teams, we start off with second place Kaya, who has 4 matches left, and it is quite a difficult schedule. They first play Wantagig now this weekend, and then they follow up with a Loyola, and then there will be the biggest match of the season against Manila Digger. That will of course be the decider on who will end up first. And then they also have Stallion in the last game. So not an easy schedule, although I do predict that they will get 9 points here, and that will make them end up in 43 points. But Digger, I think, will also grab all 9 points here. They have first Stallion, then of course Kaya, which will be the decider, and Loyola. And my bet is that they will win all 3 matches. So they will end up in 35 points and the winner of the league phase. Let's also congratulate Don Bosco Garelli, who won the Ang Liga men's division. 8 wins out of 8. That's pretty impressive. I hope they will come back to the main stage in Philippines. At least see them now in the Copa. That's hopefully coming up after the PFL season. And another team that we know are planning to make a comeback in the Copa Paulino Alcantara, and that is Manila Montet. I know many people put a lot of hate on them last season. Of course, they were by far the worst team in the league. I can see where they're coming from. They are a small club. They want to compete, but I actually sort of like them, even though playing wise they are not that good. One thing they are winning, it is the social media. They have a great social media presence. If they can just get a decent team up, it will be fun to watch. That is it for this week's PFL recap. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and as always, like, share and subscribe. Paalam.
T